Have you ever looked at someone successful and wondered, what did they have before they became rich? Because the truth is, most wealthy people don't start with money. They start with certain psychological traits. And what's interesting is some of the habits that predict future wealth look completely normal at first. In fact, you might already have them. So in this video, we're breaking down 6 psychological signs that strongly predict future success and wealth based on human behavior, discipline, emotional control, and long-term thinking. And make sure you stay until the end, because the final sign is the one most people completely ignore, even though it separates temporary success from lifelong wealth. Number 1, you can delay pleasure. Most people destroy their future for temporary comfort. They spend money to feel important. They quit too early. They choose entertainment over improvement. But psychologically, people who become wealthy usually have one rare ability. They can delay gratification. This means they're willing to suffer now to gain more later. Instead of buying things to impress others, they invest in skills. Instead of wasting hours scrolling, they learn. And this trait is so powerful that psychologists once tested it in a famous experiment called the marshmallow test. Children who resisted eating one marshmallow in order to receive 2 later often grew into more successful adults, because wealth is rarely built emotionally. It's built strategically. If you can control your impulses, you already think differently from most people. Number 2, you get uncomfortable around wasted time. Future rich people see time differently. They feel irritated when hours disappear without purpose, not because they're robots, but because deep down, they understand something most people ignore. Time is the real currency. Poor thinking focuses only on money. Wealthy thinking focuses on leverage. That's why highly successful people become obsessed with learning, building, improving, networking, or creating. And no, this doesn't mean you never relax. It means your brain naturally hates stagnation. Psychologically, this comes from having a strong, future-oriented mindset. You constantly think, how will today affect my future self? And that mindset alone changes everything. Number 3, you don't need constant validation. One of the biggest psychological traps keeping people broke is the need to look successful. That's why people buy expensive things they can't afford just to gain approval from people who don't truly care. But future wealthy people usually think differently. They care more about freedom than appearance. They don't need everyone to clap for them. They don't need attention to stay motivated. And psychologically, this shows emotional independence. Because when your decisions stop being controlled by social approval, you start making smarter long-term choices. Most rich people looked boring before they looked successful. Remember that. Number 4, you're curious about how things work. This sign is massively underrated. People who become wealthy are usually deeply curious. They don't just consume information, they analyze it. They ask, why does this work? How do people make money from this? What psychology influences people here? That curiosity eventually turns into opportunity recognition. And psychologically, curiosity increases pattern awareness, meaning you begin seeing opportunities where others see nothing. That's why many successful entrepreneurs became obsessed with understanding systems, behavior, marketing, communication, or technology long before they made money from it. Curiosity trains your brain to notice value, and people who notice value eventually create it. Number 5, you stay calm under pressure. Most people make terrible decisions emotionally. They panic, overreact, quit too early, or sabotage opportunities because stress controls them. But people who build wealth usually develop emotional control. When problems happen, they focus on solutions instead of drama. And psychologically, this trait is linked to high emotional resilience, because success is not just about intelligence, it's about stability. Can you stay focused when things go wrong? Can you think clearly when others panic? Because every successful person experiences failure, rejection, embarrassment, and uncertainty. The difference is they don't emotionally collapse from it. Calm people make powerful decisions, and powerful decisions create powerful lives. Number 6, you think long-term, while others think short-term. This is the biggest sign of all. Most people think about this weekend. Future wealthy people think about the next 5 years. That changes everything. They understand that small daily actions compound over time. One skill learned today can change an entire future. One disciplined habit repeated for years can create massive success. And psychologically, long-term thinkers are better at resisting distractions, staying consistent, and building sustainable success because they understand a truth most people never learn. Wealth is usually the result of repeated behaviors, not sudden luck. And the scary part? Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. But the people who eventually become rich keep going anyway. So if you related to several of these signs, there's a good chance you already have the mindset that predicts future success. Not because money magically appears, but because psychology shapes behavior. And behavior shapes outcomes. The truth is, becoming wealthy often starts long before money arrives. It starts with how you think, how you react, what you prioritize, and what you're willing to sacrifice today for a better future tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology-based content about human behavior, success, confidence, and mental mastery. And comment below. Which of these 6 signs describes you the most?